Hello there, welcome to another episode of the Allotment Dram. This is a series of short videos where we sit and talk about different whiskies in the surroundings of our North London allotment. And you join me on what's been pretty warm afternoon for early September, to be honest. It's about 28 degrees today, bright and sunny, blue skies. Been quite hot, hard work actually up here, just getting sort of beds ready and doing a bit of weeding and so on. But as you know, I do like to show things that I've picked. We've got a couple of things today. Firstly, these apples just off the tree. They're the first ones really. It'll be very nice indeed. And then also some another handful of green beans. This is really starting to sort of come to fruition now. Getting, you know, at least that sort of size handful every time coming up here at the moment. So we'll eat some of those, we'll put some of them in the freezer, you know, and enjoy those during the winter. But while that's all very interesting, you know, I'm sure many of you didn't tune in to hear about what I'd picked at the allotment or what the weather's like in North London. You, of course, tuned in to hear about whiskey and what is the allotment dram today, I hear you ask. Well, it's a sort of quite trend-setting whiskey actually, I personally think, and it is a blended malt and it's called Scallywag. It's from Douglas Lang and Co. And the reason I say, you know, it's a little bit sort of pioneering is that it was really one of the first blended malts that came out on the market. And the reason I picked this is that in a couple of months' time it's actually going to celebrate its 10-year anniversary since it came out in sort of late 2013. And really at that time there was only really probably Monkey Shoulder that anyone had really sort of known or about or tasted. So what Douglas Lang did with this was the first one. They set out to make a series of blended malts. So a blended malt, for those of you that don't know, is basically a blend made up of just single malts. So different single malts from different distilleries, maybe in different casks of different ages, blended together. So it differs slightly from a traditional blend, you know, so something like Johnny Walker or Chivas Regal, in the fact that there's no single grain whiskey involved, whereas there is in like Johnny Walker and Chivas and all of those, you know, other blended whiskies. So a blended malt is just single malts from different distilleries married together. And this was the first one, and it kicked off a series called the Remarkable Regional Malts. And for example, there's now Timorous Beastie, which is all Highland malts. There's the Epicurean, which is all lowland malts, and so on and so on. Scallywag is all Speyside single malts actually, and with a reasonably high proportion of those in ex-sherry casks, Oloroso sherry particularly at that. Distilleries are mentioned as being in Scallywag. Mortlach, Macallan and Glenrothes, plus a couple of others which aren't named. So some really nice sort of quite beefy distilleries there, you know, well known, well regarded. Also those three are all well known for their use of the old sherry cask, so they, you know, quite big bold whiskies each in their own right. So this is actually called the Global Traveller's Edition. So this comes out in travel retail and is a slightly different strength to the regular one that you'll find in a shop. That's 46%. This one is 48%. But in both cases is non-chill filtered and natural colour. So this, I believe, goes for about £55. This is for a litre as well. The regular one in the 70cl goes for about £40, something like that. Obviously at that slightly lower strength as well. But yeah, I think we should probably get on and have a little taste now, see what we find. So yeah, Scallywag Speyside blended malt. Here we go. So you can see the colour's quite dark. As we said, all natural colour, so it's reflecting that there's this reasonably high proportion of ex-sherry cask whiskies in the blended malt here. So let's have a smell. Oh yeah, instantly there's some classic sherry cask sort of pointers, so to speak. You've got toffee, caramel, dried fruits like sultana, raisin, some milk chocolate as well. A little bit of nuttiness in the background. Really very enticing. So I'm going to let it entice me and have a taste. Feels really luxurious actually. Again, got quite a lot of body. It's quite robust, almost a little bit viscous. Sherry cask notes really coming through nicely. Toffee, butterscotch, caramel, these dried fruits we spoke about, raisin, sultana. It's a bit of sort of orange zest now, almost tending towards marmalades almost, I would say. And yeah, there's, underneath there's a quite sort of distinct green apple actually. Yeah, just kind of balances some of those slightly richer notes. This sort of crisp green apple, like just when you bite into, you know, much greener apple than this, but when you bite into it and it's fresh and, you know, quite tart and quite crisp. Yeah, but yeah, very nice actually. I'm gonna have another taste. Let's have it. So this second taste, I'm having, getting all of those things on top, but starting now, whether it's because my palate's tuning in, this is my first whiskey of the day, so sometimes it does take you time to tune in. I know some of you won't believe me, but it really is my first whiskey of the day. And as you start to tune in, you start to get the more subtle notes, these sort of underlying notes that are coming through. So I'm getting like a malty biscuit now. Definitely getting some more, some vanilla as well. Quite nice, like a little drop of vanilla essence or something like that. And there's some like crystallized ginger. It's really, really very nice. And then a very late, sort of quite drying hit of like cinnamon bark actually, just like drying out the inside of my mouth, like the side of my tongue, both sides. But yeah, very nice indeed actually. Really well-rounded whiskey, really quite easy drinking, even at this slightly higher, for this Global Travellers edition, even at the slightly higher strength of 48, it drinks very well. I could kind of see it, you know, working very nicely for some of my non-whiskey drinking friends actually. I think they would like it, you know. No, I don't really like whiskey, but we always have to drink some when we come to your house. Those types of friends, no offence to any of them, but you know, normally I can find something that they would like, and I think this would really tick quite a lot of boxes for many of them actually. But yeah, lovely. And also, you know, don't just check out Scallywag, you know, I think this is a really, really great product. You know, got the little fox terrier, Douglas Lang. The Lang family have had like generations of fox terriers sort of in the family, so you know, he's there on the front label as well with his little monocle, you know, looking very sort of intelligent. But yeah, don't just check out this, check out the range, you know, have a look for them on the Douglas Lang website, or you know, any sort of reputable retailer online, and they'll have them, because they're really well priced, and I think, you know, pretty much all of them cracking whiskies actually. So I think that's probably it. We'll leave you to get on doing whatever you were doing before you stumbled across this video, and you know, we'll bid you farewell from myself and the Scallywag blended Speyside malts. We will say our goodbyes, and we hope to see you again for another Allotment Dram very soon. Cheers!